afternoon, free enterprise fans, and welcome to Qualifier number 5 for Highway to the Zemus Zone 4. I am Alicel, and I am joined here by Antidale. How are you doing today, Antidale?
Doing good and really excited to see what happens in this qualifier race. Looks like we've got a nice Iridia start, so take advantage of that Sea Hero. She'll be really slow to start, but we also get some nice Leviathan summons for sale, which is a new change in 4.4.
Yep, when 4.4 came out, Leviathan went down to, I believe it was Tier 5, which means you can find them for sale in gated shops.
Yeah.
And we've got a nice little swath of objectives today. We've got our typical defeat Wyvern, complete Cave Bahamut, and have Cocal Forge, but we also need to trade away the Rat Tail and unlock the sewer with the Baron Key.
Yeah, really like seeing that extra double key item objective there with Trader the Rat Tail, making it more likely that we might see a forge, especially if we start with a magma key. More key items just means the seed's going to go a little bit longer, which hopefully means that we get some more interesting free enterprise having to deal with that new Sea Hero flag. This is the first tournament that it's been on.
And would you like to give a little overview of what Sea Hero means?
Absolutely. So Sea Hero makes it so that your hero, the starting character, always gets experience no matter whether or not they are conscious at the end of the fight. They will always be your agility anchor. There won't be another copy of that hero unless you explicitly force it with a deliberately chosen get this character again objective, but we don't have that possible in this flag set. And it means when you go forge that Cocal will forge them a very special weapon. So for Rydia, that'll be the Mist Whip. It'll be the Game Boy Advanced version of one of their special trials weapons. Some characters have some really interesting ones, or a number of them. But Rydia gets the Mist Whip, which is kind of like a Stardust Shroud, but also hits things.
So what you're saying is let Rydia hit things.
That is 100% an option. We're going to have Rydia for the entire seed. We can't get rid of her, even if we want to. She'll also have to deal with the Crystal Chamber alone, just like Cecil does in the vanilla game. It's just going to be Rydia in there fighting whatever is there. So depending on your hero, that can be a really interesting challenge. Tella is one who is notorious for not being able to do anything in there without any extra help, like from J Adams, because he doesn't learn his spell until he's out of that chamber. Rydia is not too bad there, especially if you can get her a nice bow or get that Leviathan summoned from somewhere. So it's going to be just really interesting to see what we get.
And it does look like our runners are off.
We get a Kane and Kinatsu showing us the opening seed, and a Boreas.
Boreas is a nice little item. I believe it casts Ice too. Great for things like early dolls, early bombs.
Yeah, I mean, it'll help Antlion a lot. It'll do, probably 400 to 500 damage unless you're going against someone who's Ice Weak like Rubicant in certain phases of his turn. So definitely helpful for any AoE stuff like you're talking about. The Kaipo guards or the Baron guards are good targets for it also. And it's also just a nice item to have in there for that Crystal Chamber fight that we talked about earlier, because that does probably half or more of the damage. And we see a couple different looting strategies right away from some people.
Yep, 3 of our runners heading to Castle Eblin. It does have a little bit higher tier loot available. You do have the 3 trap chests to kind of contend with, but you can usually pick up some nice things, especially for that Kane, who is very dependent on gear.
Yeah, I think Kane's one of the main drivers for a lot of runners to go here and deal with the possibility of the trap chests. Just because he really loves getting a higher tier weapon. You can get him a defense sword or a white spear. He's going to do a lot better in the early game. Get him a power shirt, he's happy. Also, Rydia will like the Artemis bow if we can find one out of here. Too. That is also now a tier 6 item, as we have shuffled item locations around a little bit. And Pyre finding Bahamut there, taking a bath in the waterfall.
And our tracker actually pointing out that those who came here to Eblin Castle finding an extra siren. That is very huge, as sirens are not available for sale.
Yeah, we can't buy any items that were found only in the Japanese game. No star veils, no mute bells, nothing like that. Just you're gonna get some cure potions, some heal potions, some ethers, tents, and cabins, and summons. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I missed a bunch of the items, but from chat and from what I saw from some stuff, it looks like Fire had found a wind spear. And then an Ice Brand is probably the only other noticeably good weapon or like upgrade weapon for Kain. So party's still lacking a bit in damage.
Yep, we didn't find anything too game breaking for that Rydia or for that Kain, for that matter.
And someone set up the bomb there in outside of Hubs. We get the bomb summon. Not going to see a lot of usage there, unfortunately.
Yep, bomb is one of those summons that you could get by fighting a ton of bombs in the vanilla game. Most people never saw it. And another siren. So that opens up a lot of grind opportunities early for our characters. Even if you just want to take some Liliths up on Mount Ordeals.
Yeah, that could be something that our runners think about. They don't have a lot of damage available to them quite yet. That Poison Axe isn't too bad that Stupid Sexy Flange just found an Antlion Cave. You also might want to do a little more shopping, see if they can find like dancing daggers for these people, but also it looks like we've got Tella fighting a Mylon at the top of Hobbs.
And it is Mylon and friends. I'm going to use that Gaia drum to quickly take out, I think, everybody.
Yeah, we get the friends, don't quite get the Oh My Body, but that's probably going to be coming pretty soon. Might take a jump or two from Kain.
And looks like Rex Raoul did find a mute knife, which is actually not a bad item for that Rydia. Does increase black magic spell power.
Yeah, and we can also give it to Kain later too if we're fighting some mage type enemies to do quad damage against them, which is a nice bonus. It doesn't do that much physical damage on its own, but things times 4 are usually pretty good.
And speaking of useless utensils, we have also found a spoon from the Antlion Cave.
Yeah, sadly, Edward does not get his favorite spoon to equip this time because of the hero flag and the fact that it'll give you a really good weapon for that character generally. And the Loki Loot and Apollo Harp are both very, very nice to give on Edward. We're not letting him have the spoon. He has other toys to play with.
But it looks like our runners are all kind of treading the same ground. Looks like everybody's going to pick up that bomb summon from Hobbs and be sorely disappointed.
Yeah, it's one of those heads-up plays that just doesn't pay out this time around. The runners would have loved to have seen Sylph, even though the Sylph glitch isn't available this time, so everybody will always be spending MP on it, or Titan, or really any of the noticeably damaging summons early on, but we're just not getting them. Rydia's going to be not quite the powerhouse that she could have been if we had gotten something a little bit better. And then just with the general lack of damage that this team has at the moment outside of J items that they find, everyone's probably going to be treading some of the same ground just because there's not a whole lot of opportunity to diverge off that path.
And I didn't see if Xenocat's Rydia got taken down by Mylon. I'm guessing so, since you cannot use that Rydia for an anchor. Well, you have to use that Rydia for an anchor. You can't keep her at base level.
Yeah. And yes, Pepita in chat asking if Leviathan's still not an option for Hobbs. That is correct. Leviathan is a little too strong to give out for free. We do at least make you find it in a treasure chest or spend about 40 grand on it. We have gotten a lot of Oh My Bodies. Everyone's got Tella on their team. Everyone thinking about that ordeals and wondering where that Darkness Crystal is. While we do have the life glitch turned off this tournament, it is still very compelling to, even though it can take 20 minutes sometimes to do a D-Machine grind, it is still very compelling to do that D-Machine grind because Nuke is powerful.
Nuke is very powerful, but it does take a lot of D-Machines to get that Rydia up to Nuke.
Yeah, especially when you can't slingshot. Our slingshots are available, which they weren't in the Lally League, but Rydia's pretty much never going to be able to be slingshot noticeably because she's going to gain experience every single fight, so you can't keep her down. You can't reduce the amount of XP she gets by having her take a nap during fights. She's always going to get there, so she'll be catching up to these higher level characters very, very soon. And will pretty much almost never be the 5 levels behind in this flag set when she's the hero.
But it looks like we found a free fight here in Fabul. Not really where you'd want to see this fight, but with the power that this team currently has, this may be one of the only fights that they could take.
Yeah, you're definitely feeling a little bit like, well, I'm going to get this key item check. But also that's a boss off the table that I might have wanted later. But it's also a boss I could take, so yeah. Be interesting to see if anyone decides to dip into the public treasury in Troya or do a little more shopping for something. That standard beat could also be very, very useful. And an archer bow sitting right there at the king's bedside is pretty nice too.
Yep, if our runners could find maybe a character with a little more oomph, maybe, an Edge would definitely slingshot this party into being able to take on a lot more things.
Did Tella just land a piggy recall for Flanders? Or, like, how did we get a pig there? I missed it.
I don't know. I just saw Piggy and then I'm... Tella, good job.
Tella wants a ham sandwich.
But can piggies retreat?
That is one of the little quirks of things that I don't entirely remember, of what things that are monster abilities that get blocked by different status effects. Like the Calbrana, the blue Calbrana dolls can't turn into the big doll if they are toted, but I think they will still turn into the Calbrana doll if they're muted. So it is an interesting combination of things that we will probably learn very soon. If the officer, nope, we do get ham sandwiches. Hooray!
Rydia just pre-slicing that meat.
Oh baby.
That is an Edge.
That's an upgrade, and that's the other fairly popular grind that we've seen so far in some practice races and other things, is Edge can still steal sirens. If we get underground or get a darkness crystal to get into the last arm fight, we can steal sirens. So we can do grinds there as well, rather than having to necessarily have to do a D machine.
And Xenocat finding Edward here at the bar, guarded by Valvelus. That tells us this is not our progress underground, or our only progress underground.
Yeah, exactly. We just saw Rydia absolutely whiff here. Kane is going to probably also do no damage. get her out of tornado form. This is not a good spot for Val, even though there's only a few hundred hit points. It's kind of gross and awful how much evade she gets in this spot and how hard she is to deal with.
Rydia is able to get her down, although going into the second fight with no old man.
Yeah, and that lack of blink is pretty significant. We do get a sparkle, though. Ew.
Rude. It is our favorite Canadian content, Ogo Pogo.
Yeah, Ogopogo gonna start out with that double big wave, knocking everyone down to half health. Then is gonna punch for a lot because this is a pretty punchy spot. Definitely gonna depend on whether or not Tella can get up in time and start casting blink on people, as well as some cure 2s. And I did see, I think it was Flanders there doing Watery Pass, pick up an Artemis bow. Those were, as we mentioned earlier, were changed down to tier 6. They actually swapped position with the Artemis arrows. Artemis arrows are now tier 7, and Artemis bows are tier 6. So we were able to get a really nice bow. Gives the wielder a lot of agility and extra strength. So it could be useful to get Rydia faster to kind of help out with your agility that way early, or if we find another bow user eventually, make them noticeably faster than Rydia.
And Pyre is up here on Mount Ordeals, took out the dolls with Edge's Flame, and now fighting this Dark Elf.
Yeah, luckily those spells get a lot of magic power taken away from them, so they aren't terribly effective as long as everyone's still up. This is still kind of an obnoxious fight, but hopefully it's not going to be too bad with Edge on the team.
And I do believe all of our runners, except for Xenocat, have gone ahead and picked up that edge.
Yeah, I know Xenocat's been practicing a lot of a particular flex set that's called Lit 3 from a mystery trigger bot, which is often very, very difficult. So Xenocat is very comfortable stretching a bit and has missed out on something that will actually make their lives a little bit easier.
They may be hoping to do the single dip Fabul, which is always the dream.
It's definitely a nice time save, but I will gladly double it Fabul if it gives me edge this early. Empire, having gotten through that Dark Elf, switching shirts and hats for Rydia and Edge so that Rydia has a nice, I think it was bandana, as well as the black belt and the assassin dagger going in here into the crystal chamber all alone. Poor, poor small child.
She ain't scared. I think that adamant means something very interesting.
Yeah, that demist that Rexarul has found, I think it's vanilla, is going to be our way underground, or at least our intended way underground.
And we'll see if we have a hook or a magma key to get us underground.
And we get to take the short path today.
And we'll see if Rex, having that magma key, wants to go ahead and steal some sirens and just kind of put this team into a good position.
Yeah, or even if not steal sirens quite yet, maybe just use one or two of the ones that because we do start with some sirens, and now that you know that you can steal them, maybe getting Rydia a few levels as well as Keen could be something that Rex would be interested in doing.
And meanwhile, Stupid Sexy Flanders managed to get through that Ogopogo at the end and got a package.
Yeah, that might drive Flanders to check there. And Rose's house has a siren. We've just got sirens all over the place.
Sirens for days. And a Starveil, which no J items being in shops means that Starveil's pretty valuable.
Yeah, they are extra precious. You're really hoping to not see Golbez at a rude spot, or we've already seen Bahamut, so that's nice. We're also hoping to not see Asura at a spot where we need to use a double Starveil to get through effectively. So just nice to have the extras to allow you a few different strats. It's nice to be able to use a Starveil to do reflect strats on the elements fight if you've got access to some fire magic or some really fast ways to kill Rubicant so you can get through a little bit more quickly. So nice to just get a little buffer there.
And Pyre made short work of that Valvulus and just flung something at it.
Yeah.
And Rex making his way straight to Tamra. And gonna go ahead and check his Job Dwarf. Temp Job Dwarf was something that was suggested by Rex, gosh, forever ago now it feels like. And it's just one of those fun things to check and see what Temp Job Dwarf is doing today.
Ed showing again those dolls, what is flame, and clearing them out on Flanders' side.
I guess he showed him how. I'm sorry, that was awful.
That was good. Yeah, so we're of course still on the hunt to find a sparkle that is Wyvern, so that we can complete objective number 1. We're still looking for a darkness crystal in order to get up to the moon and be able to complete objective number 2. We do know where the adamant is, but we still don't know where the legend sword is. And then we need Baron Key, Rat Tail, and Hook, or some combination of all those to complete 4 of those 5 objectives for this team. Ooh, that Ogre Axe is a nice pickup for Rex, though. That's probably the best cane weapon we've seen.
And a Tower Key from the free chest and the Fey merch. That means Rex won't have to worry about doing a half tower.
Or he could do either one of the 2 half-tower plays that are known in the community, either the Vagminator special, just doing the Tower Key and ignoring the top half, or the Vermilion Gambit, where when you have the Tower Key, you say, oh, shucks, I don't need that, and just do the top part. So lots of options available to Rex. Meanwhile, Pyre does have his Magma Key and is probably headed underground very, very soon.
And Xenocat finding their demist and going to go a little bit deeper into the Mist Cave to see if we can find anything.
Yeah.
Picking up a coffin, a poison axe, a longsword, and sparing us the bright screen. I didn't know you could use warp there. Meanwhile, we see Pyre checking out that package and finding a Rosa, and looks like he is interested in getting that Rosa.
I missed to see if Pyre had already gotten the demist check as well, or fought demist in the vanilla location. So that could be a like, oops, I walked in there. Well, I might as well just fight this anyway to keep this Rosa, because I would definitely prefer Rosa over Edward in this fight, or in pretty much any seed for this flag set.
Yep, Eddie does have his uses. I don't like them.
Yeah.
And we do see self-summons for sale there in Kaipo, but 30k is a little steep. And again, with the self-glitch off, it isn't near as good as it was in previous tournaments.
I absolutely agree. The Leviathan summon is noticeably better overall, and yeah, it's really expensive for self.
And we find the other Mylon variant here in the inn, so no hidden wyvern, unfortunately for Pyre, but does get that Rosa. And look like Luca Key from Sheila 1. Luca is another, or Sealed Cave is another one of those places that you could do a cheeky little grind. But with all the other options available, I doubt we're going to be seeing doors today.
No, and they're harder without an anchor that you can have at a really low agility to make sure that you know your turn order and everyone goes as fast as they can, except your anchor. They're a little more unappealing without some of those easy tricks that we've used in previous tournaments. And we do still have curse rings available, but you do have to go out and find them, and they were made more expensive.
And I didn't see where Rex picked up that Ashura, that Odin, or that Sylph, but went ahead and learned the whole gambit.
Rydia is taking on the Scholar class in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm sure that's not how it actually works, but you know, she learned stuff.
I mean, yes. And chat saying that Flanders did not take that Rosa.
I can see it. You might want to check Dwarf Castle to see if Rosa comes there and not take the cutscene time to do the package. You might want to just bank that Rosa a little bit, know that she's there, and then go pick her up later, only when you find out that you can't get her anywhere else easily.
I also forgot which runner did package, because there's 4 runners on the screen. All wonderful people. You should follow them.
Absolutely. Xenocat gets 3 blue robes. Going to have a nice time fighting this all gauntlet here in Dwarf Castle in the Calbrina spot.
Yep. For those who aren't familiar with the Alt Gauntlet, it does take 5 sets of encounters of enemies around that area. So you're going to see Dark Imps, you're going to see the turtle things. Yes, the tortoises. The game is like, yeah, turtle thing is not helpful. And Flanders looks like he did a quick egg, got a little influx of experience on his characters, and gonna head down to the Feymarch.
Yeah, I really do like the quick egg play, especially when you have Edge in your team to get more. It's just a nice, good influx of experience, like you mentioned. Gets you a few levels on some people, make them a little bit faster, maybe make this all gauntlet fight a little bit faster, and just a little more stable overall in your party. It's a good idea.
And Xenocat with the cute little play of, I believe the tortoises are weak to ice, and using the Blizzard Spear as the Blizzard spell to take out one of those tortoises.
Yeah, any damage in a pinch, and we are definitely in a pinch.
I didn't see who our king and queen were today. Did anyone in chat see who are hanging out there in the Feymarch?
I think Flanders is going to give us a quick repeat of it, though.
So that is an evil wall and another freebie off the table.
Yeah, that's definitely a hard no from the evil wall, and we don't have to fight any summon spots. They will not have key items. I could see if I somehow lucked into a couple of coffins, maybe thinking about those guards. It'd be worth a little bit of a decent bit of experience, but is my overall feeling on how worthwhile it is.
Yeah, is about where I would be as well.
Like Flanders is now setting up his Sheila one.
And Xenocat has made it through the gauntlet.
And find some orbs.
And unfortunately, another edge. Duplicates are off for this tournament, so you're just going to have the one.
Yes, we cannot stack ninjas on top of each other, unfortunately. So Xenocat sticks with that 4-person party, only 2 of which are alive, but they'll get through this fight pretty straightforwardly. There's not a lot of HP here. We might be darting some stuff to clear up the inventory. It'll be fine. And it's not like Teller really benefits from experience, and Rydia's getting it anyway.
And I believe CPU in this spot only has 2,500 hit points, so with these jumps and darts, that is a very quick kill.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to see around a Lucas necklace or neck tonight, Allie?
Either a musical instrument or cookware.
I can dig it.
Chat is calling for the Drain Spear. That's also a great option.
But we get a Baron key, so doing Dwarf Castle pays off. Even sitting through that long gauntlet, we do have an objective available to us, as well as more character checks and another place to get a key item.
And we see that the dwarves are selling heroine robes.
Well, that'll speed things along nicely. Look at that Artie Bow heroine robe. we'll ignore the poison arrows because they're not very good. Rydia. That Rydia is set up to hit things.
And Stupid Sexy Flanders giving us a tower check.
Yeah, the tower's usually not too difficult. There's a lot of HP at the Dr. Luge spot because that fight is in vanilla is 4 different forms, and all that HP for each one of those gets coalesced into one single gigantic pile of hit points here. But the tower cannon room is really simple and straightforward. It will go down pretty fast. There's only a couple things that you ever worried about here, and karate's not one of them.
Karate is about to have a very bad time.
He did not wax on or wax off.
And we find a Gungnir Spear here in Tamra, which is an upgrade to that Blizzard Spear.
Yeah, the continued small improvements for Kane. We've seen an Ogre X before, and Gungnir is just a little bit better than that even most of the time. The Ogre X does have the ability to hit a couple of enemies particularly strong, but Gungnir is a little bit better for almost everything else. Soft Gnome Rydia is our starting character, and she is our hero today. Ew. I don't like seeing Baigen here. That's gross.
Yeah, this spot is a little punchy.
Flanders is like, could those 2 images please be reversed? Could I be fighting King Queen and have Baigen at the hook route? That'd be great. Thanks.
And we also get the knowledge that another freebie is off the table.
Yeah, so anyone who's thinking about doing maybe a little bit of a short grind and then lucking into a free boss up on the moon to get a lot of experience, those are pretty much gone. We've got Dark Imps and we've got Water Hag left, I think. One nice thing that we could do with Dark Imps at a high XP location, and if we still keep Tella on the team and have lots of ethers, is while we have the life glitch turned off, that means life potions and life 1 no longer will quickly revive an enemy and have it die again to get you double experience. Life 2 still works just fine because that revives them at full HP. So you can do some pretty cheeky grinds, and the cute thing about Life 2 is that it keeps any status effects like mute or size or toad. It wouldn't keep size, or it wouldn't keep stop, so you wouldn't be able to have like them hourglass forever. But if you toad a Dark Imp and then life to it, it's still a toad.
That's definitely another one of those fun grinds that you can do, but it's a lot more complicated than a lot of other things.
It is, and it's kind of slow, but it is an interesting option.
But this Baigen is doing terrible things to Flanders' party.
Yeah, this Baigen is just terrible in general.
That boss is great if you get somebody who casts magic. Magic there does so very little. But punchy bosses are still very punchy there.
Yeah, very punchy, and it's not a super fast spot, but it's a pretty fast spot. So if Rydia is loaded down with any plus agility gear, the rest of the team is probably going to be pretty slow. And you really want to be, and there's a lot of HP there, so those arms are taking a lot to kill, and you really want something like Quake here to make this fight manageable. And I don't think Flanders has anything that it's Quake equivalent and fast enough in order to get out to keep the arms down, so you're only getting punches from Baigen most of the time. Flanders has Levy that does help some, but there's a lot of HP and Levy is very expensive, so I don't think Rydia can cast it more than maybe 2 or 3 times. And yeah, see, we see a Spoon Dart, all the big stuff's coming out.
And I believe in that last attempt, Flanders' Rydia got entangled, so that also makes it difficult. Oh, and she's dead.
Yeah,
That is sort of like entangled, just worse.
Xenocat has managed to complete our first objective on the restream so far. We'll hopefully have Xenocat actually make it through or be able to save, so they do get to keep that number 5 orb lit up. But we do have something down.
And I believe it is a French vanilla turtle, Kanazo. French vanilla Kanazo there in the Baigen spot, so a lot less HP to chew through.
Yeah, and overall not terribly threatening. That spot is not too fast either. So with Edge on the team, should be able to power through it pretty darn quickly. So we've got Rex doing an egg or 2 as well, just to kind of pick up his team, get him a little bit more HP and a little bit more power here. Yeah, picking up that Rosa is a great reason. We do have slingshots on, so Rosa should be getting double XP here. So we might even see her get up to Berserk and probably not quite blink off of this 1 egg.
And another heads-up play by Xenocat, switching back over to that Blizzard Spear. Kanazo is weak to ice when the wave is not up.
Oh, and she does pick up blink through that, so that will make that Rosa very, very nice and very, very useful going forward.
And we have the other blue robe here on the throne. I'm kind of scared to see this moon now.
It's probably not going to be too pretty. D-Lunars are something that we didn't talk about when we talked about Starveils earlier, but the frog strats that people love to employ against them in most other races are a little bit harder just because of that reduction in Starveils here, so that it's more costly to use those Starveils for D-Lunars, but when they're up on the moon in a rude spot, you might have to.
And Flanders is through that Baigen. Let's see if it was worth it.
Looks like it.
And we get a Cecil on Xenocat's side.
Cecil definitely feels like an improvement over Edward, which is, I assume, who Xenocat tossed in order to take the Paladin.
Yep. Now all we need is a Holy Sword for him, and he could do some work.
Yeah, and Allie, has any Holy Sword distribution changed at all? Can we still get them just any old fight in Khadim locations, or what's going on with that?
No, y'all hate fun, and you made it so you can't get a crystal sword everywhere.
Where can we get crystal swords?
I think you can get one from the Pink Tail.
It's true. We can also get them on the moon. And also, every trap chest has a chance. There are no trap chests that don't have a chance of what is now a tier 8 item, which Excalibur and the Crystal Sword have moved to, along with the Adamant Armor. Adamants are turned off, so we can't get any of those. But we might see some runners fish at a couple of trap chests for them. We might see some extra moon bosses fought for them. That pink tail is going to be really nice to see. Xenocat checking on the Odin spot sees a Rubicant form and says, "Cool, I don't need to know who you are."
Yep, the Odin location is another summon location, so no key item check there.
And we see Flanders just ahead of Pyre getting that Legend Sword. Flanders immediately going straight to Gokol, doing the Forge, getting Mistwhip, and completing an objective.
So at this point, I think we're just looking for either a Darkness Crystal and a Rat Tail.
Yeah, we need Darkness and or Pass to get to the moon, to get to Zeromus, period. Darkness gets us Cave Bahamut. We still need to find Wyvern, and then we still need a Rat Tail. So we don't necessarily need a Rat Tail if we can find Wyvern. We don't need Wyvern if we can find the Rat Tail. We're probably going to find Darkness pretty soon, though, because there's just not that many places left.
Apparently, we did find Darkness, and neither one of us noticed it. It was in the Baron trash can.
Well, that's wise. They threw it away.
Well, I mean, we were trying to encourage different types of grinds here.
Yes, but we're not supposed to grind up the Darkness Crystal. It doesn't make very good coffee.
I mean, have you tried that?
I can neither confirm nor deny any past or present statements made by myself or my constituents.
But I do believe, at least on Restream, that gives Xenocat a pretty big advantage, knowing where that Darkness Crystal is. As they are probably going to get their third objective finished.
Yeah, with Xenocat going straight here with a couple of other pieces towards other objectives, I definitely agree. Although there aren't that many places left too. We'll see if anyone decides to dive Luca and what's there in the sealed cave. But the runners don't have a whole lot of options, and it's good that Xenocat didn't just take that Darkness Crystal and charge the moon directly, because that would have been disastrous.
Yep, we know at least 1.5 objectives still reside here on the Earth. But it looks like Rydia Angie. And Pyre is heading to the Baron Castle. Gonna go ahead and get his objective number 5 finished, and likely gonna go ahead and pick up that Darkness Crystal.
Yeah.
And our tracker Scythe Marshal pointing out we are very close to having a vanilla Z party. All we need is that Rosa on Xenocat's side.
Will Xenocat do it for all of the vanilla lovers? Tune in now to find out.
And looks like we are going to steal some sirens. And maybe be rewarded with a crystal sword.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that makes this Siren Sting a little more appealing when you've got a Cecil and you've got a chance at a big stick here. Also, would not be sad to see an Avenger or a Marasaime or a Masamune either out of this.
But it looks like Rex Raoul is going to take the Luca dive. This is one of those funny checks where you can see the key item before you fight the boss. But since we are still looking for that wyvern, who is disgusting at the spot, you definitely want to check that boss before you leave.
Yeah. Pyre getting rid of Kane, though, keeping Tella. That could mean Pyre is thinking about possible D machines, knowing that there isn't a whole lot left to go in order to get that Darkness Crystal.
Yep, D machines are one of those grinds that if you can pull it off right, you know, you will get lots of experience. You will see big numbers.
Yeah, and if you can slingshot your Cecil, say, you'll see even bigger numbers on that Paladin if you're able to give him Heat Stick.
We do see a pass in Luca. Looks like Rex is going to go ahead and take this. The pass isn't explicitly required, but it does make things easy. If you have to go back to the Earth, you don't have to worry about then walking the moon.
Yeah, it looks like Rex is probably thinking a little bit differently of that and does reset. Maybe he's just going to reset the fight and go at it differently. Maybe didn't have enough damage there before he started berserking. Because those viruses will hurt here quite a bit. And I do agree with Escorian in chat, noting that this is probably not actually a time save to keep the pass here. You're spending a lot of time doing this fight and then walking back out. And while the pass does save you time to get to Zeromus, you're currently knowing you are outlaying a bunch of time in order to possibly save time in the future. And I don't think the math works in Rex's favor today.
But Pyre is raising his big whale and will be the first of our runners to go to the moon.
Who do you want to be on the dais, Allie?
I always love a lunar Sid.
Xenocat is also now going to Forge, is completing their objective number 3 pretty darn soon. So everyone will soon have objective number 3 done. Everybody but Rex has number 5 done in the restream. And we get our first look at who is our required boss up here in Cave Value.
There can be some doozies here.
It's a sparkle.
So at this point, that's got to be Plague or Wyvern. Or Paledem. We haven't seen Paledem yet.
And it's a double. Cave Value, hard required. That blizzard also hurts a good bit. That was, what, 1,600 or so on everybody?
Youch!
Hi. That's a sign to get levels.
And looks like Pyre is heading back into the tower. I'm gonna see if any of these trap chests are gonna get some of these trap chests and see if he can get some sirens.
Yeah, I imagine looking for that combo of sirens plus possible good trap chest gear, like we talked about earlier. Xenocat has visited Yang and is now going to start using some of the sirens that they stole.
And as Chad is pointing out, that is go mode. We, as here in the booth, are in no mode, and Pyre knows all he needs is levels.
Yeah.
And Rex is going to go ahead and take on Dwarf Castle, which will lead him to the chain that leads to the Darkness Crystal. And Flanders deciding maybe that Rosa isn't such a bad idea after all.
Yeah, I think she's a pretty good call, especially when you decide, hey, I need to go to the moon now. And Tell is my white mage, and that doesn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, Tella is your white mage at endgame, and especially at Zeromus, is very feels bad.
Yeah, it's not optimal. It looks like our poll has completed, and chat has determined that the crystal is the most flavorful crystal of all.
But that's so vanilla.
There are people who like vanilla, Allie. It's okay.
No memes, no fun.
Well, fine. You can never have a crystal sword again. Okay, maybe just one.
It looks like Pyre got the sirens he was looking for, and gonna start cracking some eggs.
It'll be interesting to see how far any of our particular runners go with the egg grind. I haven't seen anyone pick up a curse strength, but I could have absolutely missed it. Looks like Pyre might have Thunderclaw equipped, which is not super great against eggs.
Telecasting Stone, not in the middle, also not super great against eggs.
Tella tried.
I mean, I guess Tella did manage to pull off the recall Piggy on the officer.
Yeah, that was pretty slick.
And Xenocat deciding, hey, you know what else I'd like? Bacchus wines.
They are delicious and wonderful to have. So I am not surprised at this play. Especially if when Xenocat hasn't picked up that Rosa, so it doesn't have a great way to Zerk in the middle of the fight and keep people around. Tella's going to be pretty slow overall in a Z fight. So the more things you can do to have people help themselves, the better off you're going to be.
Not having a ton of luck getting these Bacchus, but we'll just keep trying.
Yep, and if Tella had been still around to maybe land a size, it'd make this Mad Ogre only do really like 1 point of damage to everything, which would be kind of nice.
Battery low. Please charge.
But Rex has gotten his Baron key. We'll likely see that as the next stop.
That seems like a very wise prediction.
But while our runners are kind of getting ready for their grinds, getting ready to head up to the moon, I just want to shout out our behind the scenes staff. We have Scythe Marshall doing the tracking and Escorian on the restream. Thank you so much to both of them.
And of course, thank you, Allie, for being a wonderful commentary partner.
Well, and thank you too, Antidale. It's been a hot minute since we've gotten to do comms together.
It sure has. It might have even been all the way back to Football Gauntlet.
But it looks like Xenocat is happy with the number of Bacchus stolen. And looks like gonna head to raise up their big whale.
Yeah, gonna see what kind of cold shoulder that Wyvern gives the Xenocat.
And hopefully Xenocat goes to that Bahamut altar first and finds out there's a double objective and there's no need to go down the lunar subterrane except for to fight Zeromus. But it looks like we are going to see who is here on the lunar dais. We'll see if it's my favorite Moon Sid.
It's a Bardo.
Now I'm disappointed that... Oh, wait. I forgot. Xenocat got rid of their Edward. So yes, we do get to yeet the Bard. Yay!
I mean, he's got to be in his bed in Troya in order to play that music for us eventually, right?
I do love that white shirt on Cecil. That's the best we found.
It's really good defense.
Especially with that Aegis shield.
Yeah, Cecil not going to be taking too much damage from those big bangs with that pretty high magic defense and evade he'll be getting from both of those pieces of gear.
And it looks like Rex is giving us our vanilla Z party. And gets that Blizzard, does have 3 party members live, and gonna go ahead and take this fight.
Does a quick think about using a summon, then remembers, oh, I don't have any Star Veils up. That's going to be painful.
And Wyvern, knowing exactly who the biggest risk is, takes out that Berserked Edge.
Yeah, hopefully those Bacchus wines that Xenocat found, as well as Tella being able to do a few nukes plus just a whole lot of lifing people back up, is going to give Xenocat a nice war of attrition here.
No, old man, it's time for your nap. And looks like Rex is having a little bit of a think. Do I want to go see what that sparkle is?
Oh, we see Flanders doing some extra trap chests. Wonder if he's going to get anything good out of these.
I hope he gets a crystal sword.
It'd be nice to reward the play. But Xenocat is through, gets 2 objectives done, gets a ribbon. The Guiding Way delivery service provides the crystal here. Xenocat is in go mode.
Meanwhile, Rex is doing some gold dragons and showing why if you don't have hourglasses, it is definitely a lot dicier.
Yeah, their entangle counter is rude. They do a lot of damage. This is no fun.
And Pyre has also picked up his darkness or his crystal.
So now it is a race on this restream of which one of our restream runners will we first hear done on the broadcast. Xenocat has a little bit of an advantage just in terms of pure time, but I don't know. I haven't paid a lot of attention to levels, so I'm not actually sure who overall has a time advantage here.
Xenocat is in low 40s for their team. And 21 agility is not the dream. I don't think. Is 21 agility the dream?
It's not the dream. 28 is a good 20 number. 21 is not as bad as, say, 27. But it's not ideal.
We'll see if they are going to pop any sirens on the way down or just going to go with low-level strats.
I think also a good question too, which I didn't pay attention to, is how many Bacchus Wine Xenocat did steal and how many are left after that Wyvern fight.
That is a good question. I do expect that we'll see some big bangs nerfed by Xenocat. Nerfing big bangs is when you cast a direct spell on Zeromus at a very particular point in his script, and it lowers the spell power after that nuke comes out for the big bang. Also, Mom Bomb is the opposite of free in that spot.
Yeah, you're not doing that fight for 200,000 experience points, and actually less than that because Mom Bomb steals experience points from the fight.
But with Xenocat heading down, I do believe there is a little something that we like to talk about.
Is it ice hockey and Zambonis?
Yes.
Awesome. If I knew more about ice hockey or Zambonis, I could continue the bit, but I don't. Aliceville, do you want to ask the question?
Well, Zeromus, we can't really move him around because apparently the developers don't think that big bangs at Antlion are a good idea. So we do want to like change up Zeromus a little bit. So he has over 500 different cosplay outfits that he likes to dress up as. And we like to ask a little question. If you want to ask the question.
Whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
And secondary question, is butt cute?
Does that affect how much you want to kick the butt?
Sometimes.
But we've got a crystal toss. We've got some true colors emerging. We've got a Gur and an Erg. And we've got a Pokemus.
Butt is kind of a jerk. And Pyre throwing his crystal very close behind Xenocat. This could be a very close finish.
It could. Pyre definitely has a lot more staying power here. Those are significantly more levels and HP and all that good stuff that will let Pyre recover from anything that goes wrong.
And we'll see if we are going to be using some Ashura healing on Xenocat's side. We cannot dart characters at the boss. This is not Final Fantasy VI, where your Rager just picks them up and flings them into the boss.
It'd be so satisfying, though.
Oh yes, it would. Just fling Edward into pokiness.
Would Edward hide in the middle of the throw?
I feel like that's dividing by zero, like dividing by zero.
I agree. I'm just curious what would happen. Also, Xenocat getting the life one from Asura. Thanks, Greyface. Overall, Pyre looking pretty stable.
And we do get a much better cast that second time of Ashura.
Yeah.
And Flanders heading into the Bahamut Cave. Once this Wyvern is down, going to get his crystal.
Yeah, there were a few double gold dragon fights here in order to get some levels before doing this, and I believe that's what Rex is doing as well. Just grinding up all the way as far as you can, as far as they are comfortable, in order to get that wyvern down. Yeah, it looks like Pyre has also switched over to reflex strats with Rosa and Rydia here. We've seen Whites and Nukes come out. We're seeing Cecil and Ed just kind of chill out and say, cool, y'all take care of this for us, thanks.
I am all for some Rydia and Rosa doing the butt kicking. And it looks like Pyre did unfortunately tip, so gonna go ahead and throw those berserks out.
Yeah, getting back into recovery mode a little bit, which the levels that Pyre has are really helping out with.
And on Xenocat's side, Rydia accidentally virused herself in the face.
That sounds like that's not the plan.
But we do see rocks on Xenocat's side.
Do we get enough dodges? This is going to be really tense.
Darting the mute knife is not the dream.
Ooh, Edge by 8 HP. Gets taken down. Might have taken that Cure 3 down with him. But I think both of Xenocat's characters are zerked, so Xenocat has nothing to do but just hope they don't die.
Oh, Kane is still in it. Come on, Kane.
Can you do it? 25 HP in a dream.
No.
Poor Xenocat.
But we do have rocks on Pyre's side. And he is in a much more stable position. We will likely see this nuke cast finish it.
Yeah, when Zeromus starts tossing the rocks, he's got about 12,000 or fewer HP. And that is a shake, a rattle, a roll, and a dead Zeromus.
And that is an official RaceBot finish time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 30 seconds. And I believe that puts Pyre in 6th place and the first of our restreamed runners. And we'll see if we can't get Pyre in for an interview.
And we are joined by Pyre. GG.
Thank you, GG's.
So, how did you feel when you went up to the moon and checked that Bahamut spot and found a double?
Kind of threw off a little bit of my plans because I was thinking about going down in the moon, but since it was there and it was Wyvern and his rude blizzard, I figured I'd just go down and grind and come back up and take him out.
And you kept that Tela the entire time and did not keep Kane. Were you planning to use Tela for some utility magic throughout the rest of the seed?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I figured I didn't really have any good weapons or for Kane or Cecil's, and Cecil's better without the weapon. So in case I needed to do something else, I wanted to keep him with me.
Well, you did a great job. What were your thoughts on this seed? Anything that really stood out to you?
No, I'm just happy I didn't have to do another D machine grind and fairly linear seed, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, were you tempted at all by having that level 1 Cecil and getting that Darkness Crystal?
Yeah, I was tempted, but I figured since I had the edge and that doesn't happen very often, I'll go a different route.
Well, and that early edge in the bed really kind of opened the seat up for y'all, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It was pretty surprising because usually when I get something like that, it's a duplicate. So I'm usually running up uh, ordeals with what I had anyway. So it was really nice.
And how do you feel about these flags, just in general?
I'm actually quite enjoying them quite a bit. I'm used to flags with they give you a ton of J item tools and stuff like that. So it's taken me a little bit to get used to not having everything at my fingertips when I need them. So I'm slightly getting it anyway.
Yeah, it's always a little bit fun to explore some of the edges that you don't normally do and put yourself in some slightly uncomfortable situations.
Oh yeah. When I first did a first couple, just Sea Heroes in general, it was a little rough, but once I got the swing of it and swing of agility, they started to become a lot more fun.
Yeah, have you found that your feeling for agility or your just basic knowledge of it has increased through having to do the Sea Hero flags?
Oh yes, for sure. Because when I didn't know what I was doing, I was running in there with like 27 agility anchors, and it didn't go well. So figured I'd actually learn how to manipulate it, sort of.
Yep, I think all I know about agility is 27 bad, 28 good.
Yep, pretty much. I wrote myself little notes so I remember which ones were which because for some reason, I kept thinking 42 was 54 for some reason, but now I got the gist of it.
Yeah, and it's eventually fun when you learn some of the other agility numbers for other boss spots, but that 28 and 42 that y'all are talking about are the great numbers for Zeromus.
Oh yeah, it helps a lot when you're just even on it or just right over. Makes things much easier.
But otherwise, do you have any other thoughts? Anything about the seed that you wanted to talk about?
Nope, I think I'm good. Thanks for all the work you guys do.
Oh, you're welcome, and it's a lot of fun watching y'all play.
Yep, thank you so much for running it for us. Without y'all, we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
You guys make it fun for people to watch that don't know what they're doing typically.
I mean, we can continue talking about what the different flavors of things are in the game. That we could probably fill hours of that.
Probably, but I think I am going to take off. Thanks again.
Thank you, and again, GG.
Thank you. Bye bye.
And that was Pyre, our sixth place runner in this particular seed. And so we do have our top six. We are calculating kind of everyone's relative score based off of the top six runners. So we know that at least of those top six, Pyre's going to have a pretty decent score overall. And will hopefully help his chances to get into the top 16 or top 64, whichever Pyre's particular goal is for the second phase of the tournament.
And meanwhile, Xenocat did have a second wipe there on Zeromus, but gonna go at it again and see if they can't take down Pokiness.
is let third time be the charm.
And Rex finding out that the only thing at the lunar altar is that lunar Edward.
And it is just a rough thing to have to fight Zeromus multiple times like Xenocat is doing, because you're always wondering, should I reset and go get some extra levels? What should I do to make this a little bit better? Especially when you are so close to where it had been. Looks like we've got a little bit of a screen freeze on Xenocat's side, but it's coming back, so thank you, Twitch, for letting that stream come back to us and hopefully see Xenocat's triumphant finish here over Zeromus. Third time being hopefully again the charm. Flanders is making his final descent down to Zeromus, as well as Rex Raoul. Rex will be probably stopping off to save at that save point just outside of the White Spear Altar and Ribbon Room, because that is the best place to save if you don't have the pass. And soon we'll have a triple Pokemiss on the screen.
I think that's too much Pokemiss for one stream.
That is fair. I've never actually played Mother 3, I think this is from, so I don't know anything about Pokemiss.
And our tracker pointing out that we saw in the spoiler log that the Ribbon Altar had both tails today.
Oh, for But Xenocat starting out pretty well here. We did already get one Asura Life 1 out of everyone, but we've fully healed up. We've got some Zerkers going. We're doing a little bit of damage with Iridia. Meanwhile, we've got Flanders finding out that it is Pokemiss and Rex Rule just behind.
Yep, Flanders definitely has the level advantage. You know, when you see 1700 health on Iridia, that's always a good sign.
Yeah, that means you've leveled a bunch, but probably not too much, because if you see here at like 2k, that's a lot of Iridia.
And Pokemiss picking the right target and taking that Tela down.
Yeah, even though Stupid Sexy Flanders is the originator of the triple Tela maneuver back, I believe, in the Fabul Gauntlet, or maybe that was Zima Zone 3. But Tela not going to be the linchpin character here in this particular fight for Flanders. But Xenocat strategy just remains chip away damage, keep doing damage, keep people alive. Let Asura do some good work for you and hope you roll the 2/3 of the time all the time.
Even Tella contributing with that 800 hit point nuke.
Yeah.
We do see both that Cecil and Tella go down, but the Ashura comes out.
Yeah, so Edge and Kane do get to keep swinging, and hopefully Rydia gets to play a little healer and pick everybody back up.
Meanwhile, Rexroll getting the 1/3 gray face.
Yeah, and Chad is saying that he's on battle speed 6, which is on some level a problem, and also on some level gives him a lot of ability to recover, because he won't be losing time to just menus, drawing, and things like that. So each of his inputs will take effect a little bit faster. And since both his levels and his party and equipment and whatnot are not spectacular, that little bit of safety might help him in the long run.
Yep, just having a kind of a little bit of a moment to breathe and think.
But Xenocat back at Rocks. We've got 3 people alive. Hopefully Rydia gets a nice Asura summon off here. That's a good one.
I do believe that Xenocat is in great shape, and we'll hopefully be seeing Crack Boom from them.
Yeah, this has got to be close to there. There it is.
And GG's to Xenocat.
Indeed, a long struggle, but finally gets it done, claiming 23rd place in the race today.
Yep, and we'll see if we can't get them in for an interview.
But while we are waiting for Xenocat to maybe come away from a quick AFK or a little bit of a stretch break after a long seed, since the runners are on a 15-minute delay, so Xenocat's been done for 15 minutes, we are watching then Rex and Flanders continue their Z fights, and they're both looking pretty okay. Flanders has the main 3 people still going and doing well, have enough HP. Rosa should be getting a turn again soon.
And I do believe with that bidding, we are joined by Xenocat. GG's to you.
Oh, goodness. GG's. That was... I felt so good until the end, and then not so much.
Yeah, that was a struggle for you in that Z fight. You're just a little bit on the low side and just had a couple unfortunate things.
I knew I was on the low side going into it, and I was like, it'll be fine as long as Rydia doesn't go down. And yeah, Rydia went down.
Go ahead, Allie.
Yeah, that was brutal. All Kane really needed to do was dodge one more meteor roll.
He was one hit away. If he had dodged that meteor roll, I would have gotten that finish right there, but unfortunately Kane's magic defense is not great.
No, but Cecil's was pretty good, and he did not dodge a lot there.
No, he was not dodging at all, and I was like, come on, I gave you an Aegis shield and a white shirt, please. Dodge Meteos. He had all the magic defense and none of the actual dodging.
Yeah, he just folded his arms across his chest and said, nah, not gonna do it today.
No. Too busy swinging his Ogre Axe for less damage than anyone else on the team. Thanks, Cecil.
He was trying.
I mean, without him, I would have seen more Big Bangs, and so he helped. For sure. I would not have skipped the 4th Big Bang. But yeah.
But otherwise, what did you think of this seed? Anything that really stood out to you?
This double required Cave Bahamut was fun. I was planning on using the moon as my grind, like going to clear Cave Bahamut first after I did the sirens that I did, and then using the rest of the moon as my grind with 10 key items until I hit it, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm in go mode now? What? These are much lower levels than I was intending to do, but I think I can make this work. And I went and peeked the ribbon room really quick just to see if it was a boss I wanted to take, but Mom Bomb, not worth taking in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good hard no.
Yeah, it's going to be long, it's going to be slow, it's not going to give me the full experience. I'm out.
Now, I know you've done a lot of Lit 3 seeds recently, and have been really enjoying those. Have you picked up a lot of comfort with low-level strats from doing those as much as you have?
The Lit 3 seeds don't actually have as much low-level Z fights, but it's gotten me a lot more comfortable with low-level fights in general. Because because the nature of Eno XP, you don't have a lot of experience going into, say, Baron Inn or the Hook route, and you are dealing with a C hero situation with often parties of 3 or 4 characters, which has been really great training, I think. The trouble is it's also usually K-traps, so I'm also clearing everything, and so the Z fights are usually super easy, because you're super over-leveled at the end of the seed. But I knew that with 3 Zerkers, I would essentially have something approaching an RA1 setup, even though Rydia had 21 agility, because she was slower than the 3 Zerkers, so I figured as long as I had those 3 Zerked up, I could reliably nerf. And as long as Asura didn't betray me too much, I would be fine. And like, the counter nukes all hit good targets, also.
Yep, it was just that virus on Doridia that kind of derailed everything.
That was and I should have probably known that I wouldn't have had enough damage for the black hole, but I thought I would be able to get the virus out before. It's one of those things.
Well, you definitely still put on a great race. It was very entertaining to watch.
Glad to hear it. I feel like I ran most of that seed pretty well. Again, I don't feel bad about anything other than the Z wipes, and that's just a learning thing. Because that was a little lower level than I'm usually comfortable with, and I mean, I'm learning from it. And there's plenty of other qualifiers.
Yep, and learning from it is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, and going in with 1200 HP Rydia, or slightly less than 1200 HP Rydia, as your healer with the Asura is that's a ride. That is a roller coaster in a seat.
This is going to be super sketchy, but I think I can nerf every Big Bang, and Rydia should hopefully have enough magic defense to not take 1100 damage from nerfed Big Bangs. I hope.
Maybe, please.
Maybe. She had a ribbon. She was fine. Ribbon and Mist Whip, she's fine. I don't need anything else. It's fine. It's all good. No worries. I was very worried that one of the nerf Big Bangs would somehow knock her down, and I would be very sad.
Yep, and it looks like you are going to give us music. That's exciting.
Yes, I am very excited for music.
Well, again, GG's to you, Xenocat, and thank you for running in this and letting us restream you.
Yep. Thanks for having me on Restream. It was a blast.
You have
And again, GG's.
And of course, very appropriate music for Xenocat to be playing for us, since Xenocat does do a lot of Xenogears compositions for the harp. So wonderful, wonderful seed rolling and harp choosing here.
And I believe we are joined by Stupid Sexy Flanders.
Howdy
GG's
go.
to you.
Thank you.
So how did you feel about that seed?
I think what I'm noticing a lot of the time with these seeds, or at least the ones I'm rolling / doing in the qualifiers, is DPS seems to be an issue early game in quite a few of them, and I think it's just a matter of like coincidence. So, the seeds also feel a lot more technical than like the Highway to the Zeromus Zone too, like because you're forced to have that hero that levels up no matter what. Kind of stuck with what you get, and you have to like work around it. So, kind of requires you to have more knowledge of the game. And this seed in particular, hadn't played with Rydia in a while. I think it did okay though.
Yep. You did a great job. Especially dealing with someone like Rydia, and without a cursed ring. I don't think we saw any cursed rings in that seed.
I didn't pick one up. I don't know if someone out in the wilderness managed to find one. But no, I certainly that would have been very helpful. The other thing too was deciding on grind. Like that was the big thing. So when I got Cecil at the end, it was like, do I keep Kane and Cecil, or do I keep Tella so I can grind more efficiently? And I think I made the right choice because I didn't find a whole lot of weapons for either Cecil or Kane at all. I think I made a mistake on how to approach Zeromus at the end. I should have did Zerker strats, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think the best we really saw was an Ogre Axe. You could buy defense swords from Kakol.
Yeah, I think I should have just gone with Zeromus and done white and nuke strats and just let Edge and Cecil heal with Cure 3s as needed and revive as necessary. That was probably the better route at the end. Oh well.
It's a good point of learning, and it's something that you could definitely try out right after we're done with this conversation, if you have the time to just see if that feels better for you.
Yeah.
And just give yourself that extra knowledge, because you're right, it is a more technical flag set and something that we're not quite used to as much with that hero.
Yeah, the C hero definitely. The end game isn't like give someone cursed ring, go burr, or let a dead level 1 character sit in the middle of the party. That's for sure.
I was rooting for a crystal sword.
That's why I went back to Eblin and I fought those 3 chests. I was like, maybe one of these will have like an Excalibur or something. Even an Avenger would have been nice, but no, nothing. Had a Bahamut that I at that point didn't need, so okay.
Yep. Probably don't want to cast Bahamut on Zeromus.
Nah, I'm not that. No, nobody does.
I mean, it was fun when I was 12.
But did you have any other thoughts? Anything else you wanted to go into?
I'm looking forward to the other qualifiers that I participate in, and this everybody being ranked amongst everybody is interesting. It's definitely different than the 1v1. It's a lot of like, I think when it comes to like ranking and just getting into the tournament, do you play safer just to get a solid time, or do you take risks? And I'm more the risk taker when it comes to doing the seeds, and I'm gonna have to adjust, I think, accordingly just to get my feet in the door for the tournament. Because if I want to get in, I think, or if anybody wants to get in, really, it's just a matter of posting good time for I think. Because it's not 1v1 and 1v1. More risk-taking is better, so right now I feel like it's more of a technical game.
Yeah, there's a little bit of safety to play for to make sure that you're in the top 64, and maybe do a little bit of risk taking if you have the time to join other qualifiers and shoot for top 16.
Yeah. But no, other than that, I've got nothing. It was fun. It's always fun. It's always fun being interviewed and restreamed by you folks, and kindly.
Always fun watching you play. A little sad we didn't get to see a triple tele here, but
No,
you
no
know.
triple tele. No dupes. You gotta talk to the powers that be about that. No dupes unless it's tele. That should be a flag.
We will send that message to board.
Yeah.
Yep, but again, GG's.
Thank you.
And we are joined by Rex Arwool. GG's, Rex.
Thank you.
So, how'd you feel about that seed?
Well, it was pretty, like it felt like it was on rails, like it was telling you exactly what you needed to do. At least that's how I felt.
Yep. I think with that Baron key, basically that required alt gauntlet at Dwarf Castle, into the Baron key, into the Darkness Crystal, into the double required Bahamut altar.
Yeah, and plus, getting both the Adamant and Legend Sword pretty early too. So with then it was just like thinking, what the heck am I going to do in order to defeat Zeromus with this Rydia anchor? So that's what was that was the main question.
What were some of the things that went through your mind for how to do that?
Well, if you notice, I went to every armor shop that I could find other than Eblin, hoping to get a curse string. That would have solved a lot of issues, but I just ended up deciding, my plan was to have Rosa be busy Berserk melee fighters and Rydia handling the healing with the Ashura summon. But the first Ashura summon in the Z fight was a Grey Face, and okay, now it's just all hands on deck. Just take it as carefully as possible. I'm glad that I didn't have to reset, but it was a very long Z fight that I was in.
Yeah, when you're relying on Ashura,
Yeah,
it's sketchy.
That's absolutely the risk, and I'd rather it not be that way. But it was also an issue because in the Wyvern fight, my Rosa went down, and I couldn't bring her up right before I killed Wyvern, so she didn't get the extra experience for that. So she was stuck at just over 1800 HP, which is a little bit lower than I'd like to be, just to be comfortable. So I gave her the ribbon that I got from there. I went down and I bought a protect ring to give to her, and that was enough to keep her alive, but it was like every time a big bang happened, I was clenching my teeth like, please don't go down Rosa. Because I think if Rosa went down, then I'd have no shot of winning that Zeromus fight, at least not on the first try.
Yeah, I always feel like whenever my Rosas are below 2000, I'm just like, please don't, please don't.
Yeah, I tried to, put that M defense stuff just to mitigate it, and it worked today, so that was good. But if those rolls had been higher, then that could have been very difficult, and all that time in that Zeromus fight would have been wasted, and that would have been very upsetting. Luckily, it didn't, so everything ended up okay. And I think I'm pretty happy with my performance, considering I have not practiced nearly enough for this event, so I'm pretty happy where I ended up.
Well, awesome. We thought you did a great job. And of course, it was fun to watch. And I think, did you have a fully vanilla Z team?
I did. Cecil Kane, Edge, Rosa Rydia. Yeah, I decided to get rid of the Tela because I had found like 4 total sirens. Like I found a few extra in random chests along with the starter kit ones. So I figured I'd just use those to grind. The first one was a bit sketchy when doing those gold dragons. I used my spoon in order to survive the first one, but once we got there, it was enough. And that blizzard at the beginning of the wyvern fight was quite scary too. So I think I had accidentally left on a piece of gear on Kane that made him vulnerable to ice. So he was taking like over 3,000 damage at the beginning of that one. So that was nasty. But yeah,
That was
so
certainly
that's
a
basically
scary.
my spam.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of a scary wyvern witch burn.
Yeah, and like I guess I didn't have enough dragoon gear. Like I just put all the like strength boosting gear on Kane, and so he didn't have a piece of dragoon gear to help defend against that. So, but by then I had life 2 on Rosa, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, life 2 makes everything better.
It definitely helps you recover quite well.
Absolutely.
But did you have any other final thoughts?
Not really. Just thank you everybody for putting on this show, and hope to see you all. Hopefully, I'll see y'all in the brackets round. We'll see.
Indeed, it would be great to see you there, and of course, see everyone throughout the rest of the 10 other qualifiers we have. You still have time if you're interested in joining in to sign up and to run in at least 4 qualifiers to try and get to the round of 64.
All right. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Thanks again, and hope you all have a good day.
Thanks so much, and again, GG's. But with that, we are done with our qualifiers for today. We have another one going on tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. That will be our qualifier number 6. But before we sign off, I want to give a huge shout out again to our runners, Xenocat, Pyre, Rex Raoul, and Stupid Sexy Flanders. And to our restream team with Ascorian on restreaming, Scythe Marshall on tracking, and Antidale as my co-commentator. It is always a pleasure.
Absolutely, and I do want to do a quick recap of the top 6 runners since we didn't see 5 of them. Woobear came in first place, followed by Martin Broadcloak, then Solaris, then Degar Smash, then Plumerionite, and finally the 6th runner in this race was Pyre. Just to kind of give everyone a little bit of a recap of those top 6 that are kind of determining the relative scores for everyone in this particular seed.
GG's to all of them.
Indeed, and GG's to everyone watching. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us on this Saturday afternoon, early evening, / whatever time zone it is for you. And again, as Alciel said, thanks to the Restream team and the runners, and hope you all have a very, very great rest of your day.
And we will be sending you off to Games Done Quick, where they are running Celeste. But y'all take care. Hope to see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, and have a great night.